The Illinois landscape has seen countless transformations, but none quite as dramatic as the changes brought on by World War II. By the close of 1945, Illinois had registered a total of 1,954,674 men within the age range of 18 to 38. Out of these, a substantial number, 629,516 to be exact, were summoned to serve in the military. Furthermore, 328,338 men opted to enlist voluntarily, swelling the ranks of those entering the services. Altogether, this amounted to 957,854 men, or nearly half, down to 49%, of the total registered men serving in the military. Before the war, our agriculture thrived on human and animal labor, with tractors just beginning to make their entry. But the wartime labor shortage meant a need for change, sparking a revolution of mechanization never seen before. Tractor sales boomed, increasing by 69% from 1940 to 1945. Other mechanical powerhouses like corn pickers, trucks, and grain combines were adopted at an unprecedented rate. This shift to mechanization allowed Illinois farms to dramatically increase production, despite fewer workers. But with the war, also came the pressure to satisfy the country's increased demand for corn, wheat, milk, eggs, and meat. Our farmers rose to the challenge, making significant adjustments to their farming methods and crop selections. Corn acreage saw an increase of 19% during the war years, driven by the demand for feed grain. Soybean acreage also doubled, as they became essential for domestic vegetable oil supplies and livestock feed. Hog production saw the most dramatic growth, with a 30% increase in just 5 years, while milk cow numbers peaked at over 1 million in 1944. Poultry farms also ramped up egg production, as our farmers worked relentlessly to meet the nation's wartime needs. Alongside these challenges, Illinois farmers had to adapt to federal government-imposed price controls and rationing on machinery, fertilizer, and other scarce inputs. But even these obstacles couldn't dampen the spirit of our farmers who innovated and improvised to maintain production. The end of the war brought lasting changes to Illinois agriculture. Mechanization became the norm, leading to consistent productivity gains. Our state became a corn-soybean state in a way it wasn't before 1940, and the trend towards fewer, larger farms began. The war also led to improved rural infrastructure and conservation practices, while the growth of the Chicago commodity futures markets and meatpacking industry cemented Chicago's status as a global agribusiness center. But let's not forget the immense burden carried by Illinois farm families during these years. Every increase in production, every efficiency gain was the result of their tireless efforts and sacrifices. Many families anxiously awaited letters from loved ones deployed overseas, while Gold Star banners hung in windows signifying a loved one lost in action. The end of the war brought its own difficulties as demand dropped and prices fell, leaving many farmers struggling to pay off wartime debts. But the resilience and determination of Illinois' farming families shone through, transforming and modernizing our agriculture at a significant personal cost. We'll always remember the sacrifices of these families who served our nation in a time of need. Their efforts will never be forgotten.